I wonder if you've ever heard of attachment styles. You can change your attachment style. And I love that about this. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about attachment theory and attachment theory in dating. So stick around to learn more. My name is Hannah Bodenhorn, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and this is the Reflection Room. Today, I'm going to teach you a little bit about attachment theory, the basics, and then how that looks in the world today, in the dating world, and relationships in general. So, I'm going to start off by explaining secure and insecure attachment. So, secure is obviously what we all want to be, and it used to be at 50%. So, 50% of the population used to be secure. Now it seems like it's going down a little bit. The other 50% was insecure, and that's divided between anxious and avoidant attachment styles. However, there are some different mixes of the two, like disorganized or anxious ambivalent, but I'm just going to focus on the two for right now. So, attachment styles are actually developed in our childhood. They start out when we're very young. So, imagine like a 3-week-old baby. That's how early it can start, which is scary because obviously you can't remember back then. So, you don't know where it all came from. It comes through our unconscious and then into our adulthood. You develop it from that early on when you're a baby, throughout your childhood, adolescence, and then into your adulthood. If we think of a parent and their child in the park, for example, let's say the parent is sitting on the park bench and then the kid wants to go play in the playground. And a secure relationship where the kid feels secure with their parent, they know that they can leave that parent at the park bench and go into the playground, and that parent will be there when they get back. They can look back and check every once in a while, but they know their parent's still going to be there. With an anxious attached child, they're going to look back and they might not see their parent there. So their parent might be there sometimes, and then other times they might, and the kid doesn't know. So they're going to be really anxiously attached. With avoidant attachment, that kid believes that their parent's not going to be there anyway. So they're more apathetic. They don't have much feeling about their parent leaving or staying or either. They just go off onto the playground and do their own thing, and they don't care if their parent's there or not because they don't expect them to be. So those kids grow up to be scared of attachment because they believe that everyone hurts them or everyone is going to leave them. So they can be cynical and they don't get close in relationships because they're scared that everyone's going to hurt them. Anxious attached adults believe that they have to earn the love of their partner or their friends or whoever they're with. They have to earn it, and they can do that through people pleasing. It's a classic. They could do it through throwing an adult version of a tantrum, making threats, any kind of behavior that they feel is going to pull that person in and make them stay. Unfortunately, in romantic relationships, anxious attached people and avoidant attached people attract for some reason. I always say opposites attract, but they don't last. And this is a good example of that. Maybe the avoidant person unconsciously doesn't realize that they are an avoidant attacher. And they want to find somebody who's loyal and cares only about them. And that's what they're seeking out, but that's not who they are. And same for an anxious attached person. Maybe they find it attractive that somebody is able to stand on their own and be independent. They're able to satisfy their own needs because they desire that. Like they want to be that way, but they're not like that. So these two attract. And it's very toxic because it's just not going to last. The anxious attacher is going to cling on, and they're going to be so clingy, and they're going to try so hard to earn the love of that avoidant person. But the closer that the anxious attacher hangs on or tries to pry into the avoidant attacher, that avoidant attacher is going to keep pulling away and pulling away. So it's a game of cat and mouse. And that can be very hurtful. A secure attachment, they're comfortable with closeness. They trust people. they have appropriate boundaries. They don't people please. They're able to stand up for what they believe in and put their foot down when they need to, but they also have close friends and family members. They develop healthy relationships. And you can change your attachment style. Like I was saying earlier, if you were raised to be anxious or avoidant, and then you get into adulthood and you realize, oh, I have this problem that I'm anxious or avoidant, or maybe both, which I won't get into right now, but you might realize that, and then you actively seek out help to change your attachment style. You can do this by therapy, of course. That is a really great way to do it because your therapist is going to model a healthy attachment to you. It's still a therapeutic relationship, but they're going to set boundaries because it's a therapeutic relationship. And those are healthy boundaries. They're going to model consistency and unconditional positive regard for you. And that's what you need in relationships. So they're going to model that for you. And then you can take that, apply it to yourself, and then apply it to relationships outside of you. If you're dating and you realize, oh, I'm an anxious attachment, so I'm going to seek out somebody who's secure and I'm going to have them change me. That's not a good idea. That's going to be unhealthy. Plus, that's too much to put on the other person. You wouldn't want somebody to come to you because you're a secure attacher and be like, oh, I want you to change me because you seem healthy and I want to be healthy. That's not good. You could develop a relationship with a mentor, with a parental figure that maybe you didn't have growing up. And you can model that. You can have it modeled for you, and then you can create that in your own life. So that's another healthy way to help change it. When you move in from an anxious or an avoidant attachment to secure, it's called an earned secure attachment. So now once you're in an earned secure attachment style, you can tell a coherent story about your childhood. You can regulate your emotions and your behaviors in relationships, and you can learn to trust people and have comfort and closeness in relationships. Instead of that relationship, for maybe an anxious person, relationships define them. They feel that they're only worthy if the other person finds them worthy. But now in an earned secure relationship, this relationship just adds happiness to your life. So you're already content by yourself. You already can fulfill yourself, but then this relationship just adds to it, just adds a little bit of sparkle to your life. So that's how you get into an earned secure, is therapy, developing healthy friendships and relationships, and having that modeled for you. Now, how does this relate to dating now? Dating apps are creating this transactional fear of missing out on the best option. They keep looking and keep searching and keep swiping, and instead of just focusing on the one person that they find interesting at the moment and seeing if that cultivates into a relationship. Dating apps have become a huge dopamine fix. You can go in there and get instant matches and compliments and likes and feel good hormones all of a sudden, and then you're good for a while. And then some people are on there looking for meaningful connection. So there's people on there for all different reasons, not the same reasons, and then they're coming away dissatisfied because they found somebody who was just looking for a dopamine hit, and when they were looking for a meaningful connection. So all these lines are getting crossed, and then people are left feeling like hopeless. Like, how am I going to find a date when nobody out here is like being for real? They're not being serious on this dating app. So dating apps have created a more transactional version of dating than it used to be, unfortunately. And I think that's left women feeling more avoidant and men feeling more anxious. So the roles have been a little bit reversed in this situation. None of this is to say that dating and relationships are hopeless, because that's absolutely not true, especially with attachment styles. If you feel like you're in the anxious or avoidant category, the insecure category, I'm here to tell you that it is changeable. You are able to change that attachment style. And that is what I love about this theory, is that you can work on it. You can develop healthy relationships. You can have it modeled for you, and then you can go out and have healthy relationships yourself. You don't have to live in this toxic cycle of chasing avoidant people because you're anxious, and avoidant people chasing anxious people and getting sick of them. You don't have to be in this cat and mouse cycle all the time. You can have a secure attachment style, and I love that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box. I would love to hear it. And until next time, keep on reflecting.